A full comparison of the features between the latest version of Ontolica, SharePoint 2010, and FAST can always be found on Surfray's website. And for those of you that are watching this webinar, we will be sending out a copy of that document with the recording. But there are a few enhancements here which I do want to particularly note out. On the Search Center, users will find us new significantly more configurable refinement options based off of those available within SharePoint 2010. Search results can be grouped by similar properties and quick filters offered to users as an alternative to building common property restrictions on the advanced search page. Even the Search Refiner web part has been upgraded to present numbers on the results in each refinement value. The Site Refiner category allows for drill in and out of taxonomies using a breadcrumb style navigator. And the refinements can even analyze up to 2,000 items in a result set instead of SharePoint's natural limitation of 500. Ontolica's ability to provide instant document previews for over 500 different file types without any client-side plugins in both search and document libraries is undoubtedly one of the most important features of this solution. Ontolica Preview can understand the user's search query, cross-reference it with a target file, and highlight the occurrences of a term from a search query within the document. You're actually able to see a bit of that right here on a PDF. This quickly guides your users to the information they're looking for within the document by noting the pages where the query terms appear most frequently. It displays high-resolution previews with highlighted keywords. This allows your users to not have to go through content with the current laborious process of opening each document in a set just to find out it didn't have the correct content. I should also note that from a business perspective, I know many SharePoint deployments are pushing towards mobility. So you have a lot of people out in the field that are trying to access your SharePoint environments through iPads or Blackberries. And Ontolica Preview completely supports that. This will support almost any of the latest browsers. So we're fully supporting your ability to go mobile with your SharePoint environment. Ontolica Search presents suggestions in 3 formats, which include auto-suggestions in the query field, related queries, and a tag cloud web part that I'm kind of hiding here on the right-hand side of the page. Unlike SharePoint 2010's limited search suggestions, which cannot be isolated to relevant user groups, Ontolica's suggestion features can be isolated to a search center, the user's department, or even the entire company. And those silos can be easily determined by your administrator. As a result, users can receive search suggestions based off the experiences from users in their own department, and don't have to receive suggestions based off of the experiences of irrelevant people in the entire company. In fact, every feature and web part of Ontolica can be configured to provide a different experience based off of what department your users are in. If you're interested in audience targeting experiences, we have a previous webinar on this subject that you'll be able to find in our webinars section on surfray.com. As a final note on Ontolica, in addition to a broad range of additional search features, navigation features, and document preview features in SharePoint 2010, Ontolica can help you overcome difficulties of customizing SharePoint 2010. Ontolica provides administrators with simple tools to leverage metadata and expose it to the search UI without any custom development. For example, customizations such as adding new search refiners for custom properties, or even new search fields on the advanced search page can be done by non-technical administrators within seconds. Anyone with any practice customizing the search experience in standard SharePoint 2010 can definitely attest that while it can be customized if you have the right development resources, doing so is a far more difficult and expensive request. Moving into our final topic, we have Fast Search Server for SharePoint. Unlike Ontolica, which utilizes SharePoint's underlying architecture to create a more user-friendly user experience, I guess that was redundant, Fast for SharePoint has its own index which requires additional infrastructure and works in parallel to SharePoint. This major difference is the keystone from which the two solutions diverge to meet distinctly different needs. As mentioned previously, a very large document repository with over 100 million files should be an immediate indication that Fast is the more appropriate solution. There are, however, a few other factors which should stimulate an investigation of Fast for SharePoint. If there's a need to build highly customized search-based applications with increased control over the relevancy algorithm or index pipeline, then Fast may be the best solution for you. As mentioned earlier, due to Fast's proprietary index, there's a far greater control over how it calculates relevancy and how it crawls data. In addition to being highly scalable, there are several additional line of business systems that it can index out of the box, while in native SharePoint 2010, you would need to create connectors via the BCS. This becomes more important for large enterprises which have business segments relying on non-Microsoft systems. But again, with the development resources you would need for a fast deployment, if accessing special content is your only need, then it may be more cost-effective to contract someone with experience creating BCS connectors in base SharePoint. I should also note that Fast is designed to be more of a development platform than an end solution. Using Fast's architecture, you can build just about anything you would like in terms of search-based applications. Of course, this assumes that you have the development knowledge to do so and care to get into that. It can go beyond Ontolica and SharePoint 2010 in providing you the tool sets to build just about anything, and that's ideally how Fast should be used. Here I do want to point out a couple things within a Fast Search Center. You will notice that Fast does have a deep numbered refinement capability like Ontolica. The difference here is that Ontolica can analyze 2,000 results in your result set. Fast, on the other hand, can analyze every result in your result set. Now, this does require additional servers, or Fast does require additional servers, so obviously those cater to this more robust ability to analyze the entire result set. You'll also notice that Fast does have a preview capability, and this preview is done with the Office Web Apps plugin. This preview capability supports Word 2007 or later, or PowerPoint 2007 or later. For both of those file formats, it can do a first page preview, which looks pretty nice here. And then for the PowerPoint only format, it can do a full document preview. Now, it doesn't do any of the hit highlighting or anything that we saw with Ontolica preview, but it does allow you to scan through the entire document there. If you need to do document previews or hit highlighting, or document previews even on things like PDFs or AutoCAD files, for example, you would need to investigate a more enhanced solution on top of Fast, for example, Ontolica Preview for Fast. And if you have questions about that, we do have a webinar all about that we did with one of our partners, Statera, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have about that. In addition to the technical aspects of the solutions that we've seen here, there is one other major facet which highly influences which solution is the correct option for your organization, and that is obviously cost. There is a drastic difference between the types of deployments that can consider each solution. Obviously, you'd need to speak with your Microsoft rep regarding the costs of SharePoint 2010, and we're more than happy to help you regarding the costs of Ontolica. Due to the enterprise nature of Fast, Microsoft has restricted its use to only those clients with the enterprise agreement, or the ECAL level. Even then, Fast is still an additional license cost. Although in a clever license change in marketing, it has been stated that the CAL component of FAST is now free technically, as opposed to initial plans. Per server licensing costs are still between 20 to 25,000 US dollars at the time of this webinar. Considering that most enterprise agreements require more than 4 servers, that leads to license costs alone being over 100,000 US dollars. Total implementation costs then will increase significantly past that once the price of additional infrastructure, deployment costs, and administration are taken into account, not to mention the additional servers. Alternatively, if you don't need this extreme level of customization capabilities or don't have a desire to index over 100 million items, then FAST may not be the best option. You can save yourself from additional infrastructure costs, deployment time, and license costs by doing customizations on SharePoint 2010 or plugging in Ontolica Search for SharePoint. If you do have the needs for these types of extreme customizations and scalability, then FAST is definitely the best choice. But as one of our partners recently commented, you don't need to spend $250,000 on deep refiners. You spend $250,000 to index a billion items. And with that, today I'll close our webinar on choosing the right search solution for your business. If you happen to have any questions, we're more than happy to answer those. Robert and I can be contacted at the contact information on the screen. We also encourage you to check out our other webinars that are located on surfray.com. And then also make sure to pick up our book, Pro SharePoint 2010 Search. I wish you all the best of luck in making your upgrades to your SharePoint environments, and have a great day.